Hi, welcome to another edition of Commercials I Hate.
Hello. Okay, let's try the microphone. You know, I don't know if I heard the audio go for the dial-up sound. I don't think I did. That's the audio from my coffee pot. Or no. Water heater? What do you call that? Kettle, electric kettle. Okay, well, the captions look good. The rest of the things look good. And away we go. Hello. You heard the dial-up. Okay, I just missed it. I feel like there's a lot of sounds. Maybe. The dryer's running. The dishwasher's running. The electric kettle was running. The brain was running. Welcome in, y'all. Let me scroll up and say hello. Hello. Twinderella, welcome. Sofluff, hello. Hello. Bellyflops, welcome in. Welcome in. Baker, good day. Good day. A spicy 37. Is that Celsius? That's like 90 some degrees. That's like 98 degrees? 98 degrees? That's Nick Lachey hot. Unless you meant a spicy, like a very cold, you're having to have a weird cold day? And you weren't expecting a 37 cold day? I don't know. Mystery Mayhem, welcome. Cookies arrived today. Amazing. Excellent. 99 Fahrenheit. Got it. Salsas and toppings. Excellent. Baker, you're making your own dough. I love it. I love it. Your own tortillas are the best. A final clean out for the veggies. That makes for a good taco, too. Maybe a little sauce out of that somewhere. Lemon, welcome in. Lemon, I always want to type chicken instead of check-in. Fun fact, if you type command chicken, it will check you in. The more you know. There's a lot of misspellings coded into it. Or not coded, as, you know, alternate spellings. Chocolate zucchini cake. Amazing. Chocolate zucchini cake is always so moist. I love it. Zucchini and chocolate are a great combo. I love like zucchini chocolate chip muffins too. Broccoli, welcome. Hello. Hello. Kupo's flopped on the grass. Daisy's never had a single relaxing moment on the grass in her whole life. She's nervous outside. She loves being outside, but she does not chill. It does not chill. I'm coming online. Yes. Okay. Oh, there it is. All right. See, now we know. Robbie, welcome in. Make a 60-some dog. Nice. I love it when they lay on your feet. A very warm 37. Yes. Okay. The 37 size. Yeah. See, chicken. Oh, yeah. And if you try it, it won't. A torkable child. Welcome in. That's a good one. That one, shockingly, is not part of the bot. Uncommon, hello. 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 So I was gonna do, the plan today was like trip prep, right? I was like, yeah, we'll do a big trip prep stream. I don't need to prep. Like, there's no prepping. There's no prepping because, like, I'm gonna make dinner and like make that at the campsite. I'm like gonna cut up stuff while we're there because I don't have to like watch a kid during that time or like do other things. I can just like cook, which is really kind of nice, and like hang out slowly. So we are going to do a little bit of prep. Ideally, I'm going to finish some breakfast cookies because that's what I'm going to have for breakfast. And then some garlic cookies. And the only prep that I was thinking of doing is moving a bunch of stuff out of the freezer because I'm making a bunch of stew on this trip. And way more than I as a single human will ever eat. It's multiple servings, a large Dutch oven. So we're going to cool that down. And then when I come back, I'm going to freeze it so that we have like, you know, leftovers and stew for when we want an easy dinner. But I need room in my freezer. So I might do that. And garlic cookies, breakfast cookies. I may prep a little bit of herbs, but I'll probably just do that tomorrow before tomorrow or whenever I'm packing the. I'll just do that whenever I'm packing the cooler because it's just easy. I'll just toss them in on the top. I don't actually need to like prep them. So, Luke Skywalker, welcome in. Good to have you. I hope you're well. Happy carry the one Tuesday. Gosh, darling, I love it here at Breakfast Cookies. This is a recipe that I've like. It was like one of those childhood recipes, and I'm sort of working on getting back to what I kind of remember it to be, because I didn't have an actual recipe for it. So it has very little sugar in it. It has a third a cup of brown sugar total, and the rest is like raisins and apples, cheddar, cheese, oatmeal, and flour, and sub applesauce for oil. So they're, as I would consider them, a pretty good breakfast food in general. Not Yeti, welcome in. All the garlic who's knows. I love garlic. It's kind of a favorite. It's important enough to me that I have it physically on my body somewhere. I don't remember where. I think it's higher up. Also, the decision for all the vegetables was just like, what's a thing I'm not ever going to hate in my entire life? Vegetables. Got it. Okay, let's go with that because I also like cooking. The decision tree was pretty straightforward with that one. But yeah, so not a lot of prep today. I'm just making some cookies, which is nice. And usually I'm a little frantic with the prep if I'm cooking for like a bunch of people, but like this time I'm sort of, I want to make like a nice dinner, but I'm not hassling myself for breakfast or, you know, other meals. Gonna keep it easy. Uncommon, your pickled cauliflower sounds amazing. I love that sort of. There's always like a pickle plate, and if you see a pickle plate on the menu, I love when I get pickled cauliflower. Like the mix of things is always so good. Cauliflower is kind of unique because like you don't, at least I don't often see it in like the store. Maybe I'm not looking for it. I want to start buying more pickles, just like in general, because I find myself when I like snack at night, I love snacking in the evening, sort of like post dinner, post Calvin's bedtime snacking, and pickles are really just good snacks. And I feel like I could use more pickles and less like other less good shit. Cinderella, I love that you all are having Domino's for dinner. That is fantastic. What's your go-to Domino's order? Gwen loves Domino's. It's her like, I'm gonna get food when Calvin and Luke go camping. Shayna, hello, welcome. And happy birthday, Cinderella. Correct. I like that. I like that it's like we're just gonna get what y'all want for dinner, and they happen to want Domino's, and obviously that makes it easier for you. So that's a nice win for you, and happy like birthday, you know, in general, keeping it easier for yourself too, as you deserve. I'm just starting off by making coffee today because the carafe in the fridge is empty, and sometimes when I notice it, I make the coffee. Avo, hello. I go broke eating the pickles. Yeah, that's like, I see the pickles in the farmer's market regularly. Like I walked through the farmer's market in Rittenhouse this afternoon, this morning, and I had like a bunch of pickles, and I should have bought some. No, parfaits are more like crafting. That's sort of a fun, that's like an assembly. It's like parfait is like a meal kit, but a DIY meal kit. Who's knows says I cannot stress enough how much I fucking love pickles. They are I know we have a lot of enthusiastic picklers in chat. Pickles are a great low calorie snack. Uncommon. Yeah. I think too, when you eat a bunch of pickles, you sort of feel satisfied. It's like, oh, that was good. I'm done now. Whereas like if I eat a bunch of like salty stuff, I don't know, like pickles are salty too, but like sometimes I'll be, I'll snack at night and I'll be like, I want more. But I don't get that with pickles, not as much. Cauliflower steamed or baked with cheese sauce. Broccoli, that sounds good. The broccoli, I'm glad that you like cauliflower. It makes sense. I think I often sort of see the two of y'all as orbiting, maybe like borrowing outfits from time to time, The Domino's Veggie Pasta Bowl. Dana, nice. I don't really have a standing order myself, per se. I do just love like a regular shitty Domino's pizza. I mean, when I say shitty, I mean like they're just their pizza. Just all of it. But like good. But like, blessings. Barbecue chicken pizza with bacon. Whoa! Hold on. That's a bunch of liquid on the floor. Okay. We'll just throw a towel on that. Which one of these is the absorbent towel? We talked about this the other day, right? Bacon, pineapple, and peppercini. Oh, peppercini and pineapple sounds like a great combo. No, don't go around the corner. There we go. Half a can of liquid down here on the floor. Perfect. We'll let that towel soak it up for a second and we'll move along. The 3P pizza, peppercini, pepperoni, and pineapple. That's definitely a lot going on there. Savory, sweet, spicy. You're trying to copy Griot's recipe, Avo? Interesting. I love the Griots whenever you get all the like the stuff floating in at the end. I'm always like, what's in there? What is that? Alley Cat, welcome in. Need to finish my pickled carrots and jalapenos. What do you use the pickled jalapenos for? Do you just eat them straight? I drank pickle juice as a fiend who's knows on a 2-week liquid diet. Intense. Pickleback. You're like picklebacks in the office, and you're like, it's for my health. We for us veggies must stick together. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to necessarily need to be friends, but like, y'all have the nod. It's like people who drive Jeeps, and they're just like, what's up? Oh, belly flops. Enough pickled beets and pickles to feed an army? Challenge accepted. I don't have like pickle stores. I kind of wish I did like stored up. There are in fact pickle stores available though. Locally. Local pickles are looking for you. Kathy, welcome in. Trinidad, I love mushrooms, black olive and mushroom. are my pizza topping, my preferred pizza topping. Eat the pickled jalapenos like a snack. Good, good, very good, very good. I bet they are too. My oven is on. I preheated it at some point in the past like 20 minutes. Let's talk about what we're gonna make today. I'm gonna make these breakfast cookies. I think I'm going to make the garlic cookies. Excuse me. First though, because they're more complicated. These you just kind of like make in a bowl and then you bake them. You mix them in a bowl. The garlic ones, okay, bye. The garlic ones you need to do in the stand mixer. So we're gonna do those first because then I'm done with like the stand mixer. The other ones are just like big bowl spoon. So let's do the garlic ones first. Also, I have the stuff out on the counter for those closer at hand. I'm lying. This is oatmeal for the other cookies and needs to go over here. All right. I have all the cookies. I have all the ingredients for both cookies like out over here. So we'll just, you know, make that happen. I need to get out my stand mixer. If Lemon, or SP Reborn, I don't know if you were still here within earshot. If you're not, I'm going to send you a Discord anyway. I found something. I found a program on the computer that you might like that solved the problem that you mentioned the other day. But if you're not within earshot, and that's cool and totally understandable, I'll just DM it on you in Discord anyway. So we'll move along if you're not. All right, let's get out the stand mixer over here. Stand mixer. Go. Close. Okay. Here we go. Jordy! Hello and welcome in. Who's no sis? There has to be a pickle store somewhere in the Portland area. I would... Yes. I believe that to be true. I would probably put a financial wager on that statement. There's a I don't know. There's a bunch of places in Reading Terminal that aren't specifically pickle stores, but they sell like a whole ton of pickles, which is great. But it's not specifically a pickle store. Alley Cat regular order is beef, mushroom, extra sauce, and easy on the cheese. I like the easy on the cheese. I feel like Domino's goes hard on the cheese anyway, so like asking for easy cheese is like normal. Seems about right. Seems about right. Kabam, garlic cookies? Yes, garlic cookies. They also have cayenne pepper in them and a lot of butter. Butter, sugar, cayenne pepper, egg, roasted garlic, light brown sugar, granulated sugar, flour, vanilla extract, baking soda, salt. We're gonna make them now. So like all this, you don't need to remember, and there will not be any quiz. We're just gonna like move forward and make them together. Let me wash my hands because I'm like, I don't know, because I haven't in a few minutes since stream started, before stream started, right before stream started, in fact. Whew. Hello. Of course, hello. Broccoli says shrooms, black olives, pepperoni, sausage, the ham and pineapple combo. A ham and pineapple combo is great. I love the ham and pineapple combo when the ham has a little bit of like crispy bit and char on the end of it. I don't love when the ham is has melted into the cheese and it's sort of like loose in there. I love it when it has crispiness to it. So like there's a real distinction for me when I'm talking about ham on a pizza. Serena, welcome in. Hello, I feel welcome. I'm glad you feel welcome. I hope that continues. And if you don't feel welcome at some point, feel free to express your discontent. And we will talk through it together. There's so many niche things out here. One of these bitches got to have a pickle store. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, at like a market. I'm thinking of like a pop-up at a farmer's market probably counts too, you know? That's my thought. Let's not like mix which recipe we're actually trying to do here. Okay, so this is what my recipe that I wrote, that I said I wanted to try next because of the last time we did this recipe, I had a complaint. I'd like to register a complaint. The complaint was that they were really dark, like brown. They looked burned, but they weren't like burned. I used brown butter and I used I used brown butter primarily, I think is the reason that they had that coloration. So we're not going to use brown butter today. We're going to use regular butter, unbrowned regular butter, and see how that turns out instead. And because that'll affect the taste too, obviously. And I'm also going to switch the balance of sugar. I'm going to use more granulated sugar than brown sugar. And so that may help. That may change the color too a little bit, although they're pretty, similar otherwise. So those are the changes from the last time. I used 3/4 of a teaspoon cayenne in the last version, which turned out really well. I had a couple people. I had one person who I gave them to tell me they were too spicy. And that told me they were just right, because I don't trust that person's opinion. So I was like, oh, they're too spicy for you. I'm aware of what you eat normally. They're perfect. We can move forward. And I'm also doing the 30 grams of garlic in this one because I used 35 previously and they were like wet. The cookies were kind of wet. So we're going to try just some variation, a little variation on the theme, and then we'll get started. As if I recall correctly, this makes a lot of cookies. There's like 40 some cookies in this recipe, which is quite a lot. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm not doubling this at all. We're just doing a regular version of the recipe. I should note whether or not I can double it size-wise, because I'm always, when I'm making a recipe for cookies, I'm always like, oh, I forget, can I double this? Well, I don't know, let's make one and then we'll see if we can. I'm like, I am going to make one today. Let's make sure that I write down if I can double it in my current mixer. Not in the hypothetical mixer that I don't have, which holds twice as much volume as this one. So, Alika, what are you making for dinner? Homemade chicken noodle soup. Beautiful. Ah, beautiful. I love that for your dinner. And that's cool. I love that you're making dinner. Like, as I'm making dinner, I hope other folks maybe are out there making dinner too. It's that time of day. It really is. That's why I picked this time of day to do a dinner time cooking stream. And that's why I've been doing a dinner time cooking stream at this time of day. So it's cool. I'm glad to know that. And sometimes when I'm not streaming, but I am making dinner, I also watch people make dinner on stream. First step here is to cream together the butter and the sugars. We need 1 cup of butter. So that is 2 sticks. This is softened. So I also want these cookies to spread a lot. They are supposed to be very thin, almost lacy, around the edges. And so the softer things are, the kind of more they will flatten out. Okay. I need to turn this page. So I'm looking, basically I have my notebook stand and I have things on it like this. And I'm like, this just looks like an insane amount of information to look at. I need to turn the second recipe over and just focus on the one. My brain keeps looking at the other recipe and it's like, I can't. Okay. Butter and sugar. Butter, sugar, and garlic we're going to cream together. So the next one, I'm doing 100 grams of brown butter and 175 grams of granulated white sugar. Kabam! Excellent. What are you making for dinner? What's on your food? What are you eating tonight? What the hell kind of question was I even going for there? What was on your food journey? That's odd. Fiona, welcome in. Whoopsie Pickle is here. Jared Blaze, hello. Welcome. Fiona, good to see you. Welcome in. What was stream today? Cinderella, thank you for the shout out. Ooh, where were you? I see IRL. I see IRL. Where were you today? Welcome in. And understood that perhaps you are out IRL in the world where maybe watching stream might be hard or you have stuff to do. And if you gotta go, I appreciate you bringing friends. I know when I'm done IRL streaming, I gotta like put everything in the backpack again. So it's yeah, totally. Enjoy it. You were geocaching. That's so fun. That's so fun. I've only ever done geocaching. I did it when I was younger a little bit. I do a lot of, not a lot, but I do occasional, a couple times a year orienteering. Currently, this is a really silly question, and I was not watching stream today, so I do not know the answer. But when you geocache, can you use a phone, or do you still need to have like a dedicated GPS device? When back in my day, I remember we had like GPS devices for it, and it was like, you know, it was the only thing that device did. It was pretty cool. Creme Delish, welcome in. Hello. Hello. Earth Toast, welcome in. Welcome in. Hello, hello. Let me say an actual formal introduction. Flipsy Fiona says a phone will find most geocaches. Occasionally having a Garmin GPS helps, but it's pretty rare. Okay. Yeah, I figured a phone was sort of like not as granular enough. And yeah, the GPS is always like, exactly. Fiona, you have an entry in Cookie Club this month for your raid. Thank you. Just FYI. Earth Toast, hello. Welcome in. Streaming food and drink. What were you making? What was streamed today? Earth Toast, do we know each other? Are we acquainted? I think I followed you. I know your name is familiar from the food and drink. The food and the drink. I am following. Okay, I love following a new food and drink streamers. New, always newer to me food and drink streamers. I don't mean to imply new as in never before done the things. Flipsy Fiona, hold on. There we go. Corrected. Okay. I had not. There we go. Okay, yes. There we go. Okay, sorry. Welcome in, friends. Hi. Fellows, welcome in. Press and dough, made the lemonade, and clean the fridge out. I love it. That's just like kitchen tasks. I love a kitchen task stream. That is a kitchen task stream is super rewarding, and also like as from the streamer's perspective, it's like, hey, now my stream is like, now my kitchen's clean, which is great. Welcome in, y'all. Thanks for coming through. I'm gonna add this sugar, and then I'm gonna give an actual introduction. If I start introducing myself, I can't. It won't. The thoughts won't happen. The words won't happen. I need to weigh. There we go. 75. Perfect. 175 grams of white granulated sugar. Earthday says I was testing out some new settings on my DSLR and used that as an excuse to finish up some tasks. Amazing. Yeah, those are great. I also love a test, like a low-key test stream. I think the kids might say it that way, where you're just like, yeah, I'm kind of. It's just like it's not formal, but like I'm gonna just go live and see if I can make this shit work. Welcome in, friends who just joined us. It's nice to have you. A little housekeeping note: if you follow, it is silent. There's no alerts. There's no sounds. I will not say hi to you or call you out. You can just follow and be completely what's the word? Unperceived. until you say hi in chat, and then we're happy to have you, and we're happy to have you either way. We love lurkers here. And mostly what this stream is food cooking. I generally cook vegetable forward family meals for myself, my partner, and our son. Today we're not doing that. We're making cookies. These are not for Cookie Club, but Earth Toast, by virtue of your raid, Flipsy Fiona, by virtue of your raid, you both have an entry in Cookie Club this month. Command cookies in chat if you want to know what I'm talking about. These cookies are not for Cookie Club. These are for personal consumption / enjoyment. We also do IRL streams. I will be IRL on Thursday this week. We're going camping. I'll be doing some campfire cooking and hanging out by the campfire in the campsite for, you know, kind of all afternoon throughout the evening. So if you like any of those things, I'm glad to have you. Welcome in. And if you don't, that's cool too. We all got our own things. Doritos Flamas, and it looks like the new answer to Takis. Uncommon. Takis will not be dethroned, but I always appreciate the effort. Pulled another tick. Broccoli. Yeah, ticks are awful this time of year. Awful. We're definitely going to have some ticks on this camp out. I love cooking. Camping, I mean. Well, both. Why not both? The cookies that we're making today, though, are garlic cookies. They're spicy garlic butter cookies. And also a breakfast cookie, which is like oatmeal and apple, cheddar, raisins, cinnamon. Okay. 30 grams of garlic. We're creaming together the... Okay, yeah, we're gonna cream together the butter and sugar. Then we're gonna add the garlic, vanilla, and egg. Then we will add the dries. And then then we'll add the dries, and then we'll do then we'll bake them because that's the next step. All right, cream together 2 minutes, butter and sugar. Let's get this under there. There we go. Yeah, close enough. Found a bug in a jar of sauce. That is always fun. It does happen. Oh wait, I'm supposed to be creaming these. This is just stirring. Wait. There we go. Okay, let's do an actual, like a proper 2 minutes. Oh, my timer's still running. My count up timer is still running from timing that recipe on last night's stream. Perfect. Okay, let's do about 1:30 at this point. Takis for life, Fiona. Yeah, Takis are funny. Calvin has this like personal pride that like he likes Takis because they're spicy. My son Calvin, he's 9, FYI. For your information, that's what that means. Fellas, 18 months, holy shit, welcome in. And thank you for using your Prime resub. Velos, you are, coincidentally, by virtue of having an 18-month subscription, guaranteed a reward for Cookie Club this month. If you'd like to hold on to that reward until when your Prime sub expires, you are, of course, allowed to do that. Oh my God, Boris, the sniff test, right? You gotta have the sniff test. It's true. Calling me out for the bug in the jar. Listen, it happens, and no one thinks. I would probably just be like, oh, I can't use that thing now. Bug juice, yeah, that's what we used to call like the powdered drink at Scout Camp. Bug juice, years. You had a backyard barbecue on Saturday for your birthday. Happy belated. Whoever put the sauce closed the jar in a bug and found it on stream. Ah, okay. Listen, again, no judgment, because like I've found some shit. I've seen some shit, man. But that definitely makes sense. Camping and bug juice. I know they're synonymous. We just called it bug juice because, like, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know why. It was called bug juice before I got there, and it most certainly is still called that. Well, so I will happily do that. And of course, when we get to the end of the month is when I will actually have that thought again. Because when I do the export of subscribers, it'll tell me that information. And I'll be like, oh yeah. So, but I said it out loud because I had the thought, and that's streaming. I have a thought, and I'm gonna say it out loud. Rinse and repeat. 6 hours later, we raid. Take the bug out and use the sauce. Depends what it is, if I'm being honest. If it's like a loose sauce that's like kind of liquidy, I might not. If it's like jelly, pluck that shit right off the top. RIP bug sauce juice. Okay. We have our sugar, we have our buttercream together. Next we do the egg, vanilla extract, garlic. Yeah, egg, vanilla extract, and garlic. Hold on, let's get this so that it's not dripping. Ooh. Well, I was like, oh, this smells like garlic already. No, it doesn't. It's the garlic on the counter. I haven't put it in yet, but it is open right next to me. So I'm like, oh yeah, this already smells so good. Everyone called it bug juice, Broccoli says. Yeah, I feel like that was just like a camp thing. It probably still is. I don't know why that would change. But I don't know, maybe now they call it like, I don't know. I can't even fathom what else it might be called. 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, which seems like a lot. Wait, does it say tablespoon? 1 TBSP vanilla extract. Yes, it does. Right, just enjoy the rest of your day too. I hope cleanup goes well. I know that's always kind of a thing. I hope to see you again, of course. And thank you for bringing friends through. I appreciate you. Used to be a Disney show called Bug Juice about camping. Yeah. Okay. That also tracks. Wow. Okay. Vanilla extract. Garlic. Oh, the garlic. The garlic. I'm like, what goes in here next? The friggin' garlic. I'll buy. All right. I need 30 grams of garlic, which is like not that much. So we're gonna put this in like little by little instead of like a big scoop like I do for most things. And this is roasted and cooled. And I feel like 30 grams is like 5 or 6 cloves. Just based on sort of visually what I just put in here. Phyllis says the internet says early packages of Kool-Aid had Bugs Bunny on them. From this name came Bugs Juice and simply Bug Juice. The Army also called their Kool-Aid Bug Juice in Vietnam. The reason the Army called their Kool-Aid Bug Juice was because the juices were served in an open container. And we can extrapolate from there. Interesting. Okay. I kind of figured its origin was something to the effect of like, I don't know, kids in the cafeteria were like, oh, it looks like bugs. Or I don't know, something like that. It's basically an ounce, Flatlander. Welcome in. That is true. You are correct. That, friends, Flatlander, I want to compliment you on your first message today, because now let me also say I don't know what the rest of the conversation is going to hold. Things could go south in a hurry, but we're off to a wonderful start because if your first message is telling me about the conversion between grams and ounces, like, welcome in. We love it. I love it. It's like, seriously. Don't jinx it, right? I know, but no, I'm like, yes, I was like, is that the right thing? And I looked over on my measure magnet on the fridge, 1 ounce, 30 milliliters. Milliliter is a gram. You're correct. That's probably a combination of things as usual. Right. And I don't know which one of those, my particular intersection with that term in my life, I don't know where that particular scout camp in that particular era, where that influence came from. But I could see all of those things being like totally normal. If you leave a basket bug you sitting around long enough, it will attract fruit flies. This is true. Flatlander, got you. Okay, cool. Well, that is great, and that is true. And I kind of love that. I kind of love that the actual measurement that I landed on for this was also a specific ounce amount. Like, that wasn't intentional, but it does make it easier to convert. Love Hemi, welcome in. Welcome in. I feel so powerful. I replaced the batteries in my kitchen scale. I know that feeling when you're just like, yeah, it's definitely not going to turn off on its own now for like at least a few months. Right? Streaming again in approximately 2 hours. Excellent. So this was like a test. Oh, she was doing like a shakeout stream to like test some stuff, and then there's like a formal thing later. That's cool. That is cool. I kind of like that. Where are we? Eggs, vanilla extract, garlic are in. Stirred it. Okay, now we add the dries. The dries are flour, baking soda, and salt. We are going to sift the flour. I didn't always used to sift the flour, but I do feel like in my lizard brain it's telling me it's making a difference somehow, so we're just going to go with it. It probably isn't, and it's probably like totally irrelevant, but I don't care. I'm going to like do it anyway. That's not how we do it. Wait. Carry the one. We can do this. There we go. I'll just sit that right there. All right. I just want to like dump the flour into the sifter in the bowl. I'm just being weird. Sorry. Technically an ounce is a hair over 28 grams, but this is baking, so everything is approximate. Totally. Yeah. And you know, within a gram or two is usually okay. We're not making like fine baking here. These are cookies I'm making at home. So we're gonna go with it. 177 grams of flour. Wait. We did this last time. 177. That's 3/4 of a cup. Right? Hold on. Yeah, 177. $177 grams of flour. Yeah, that's what it was. No, it's not the math, it's my literal handwriting. I can't like read my handwriting. I wrote something and then I wrote over it and it was a little like obscured, and then it got like a drop of water on it and I never corrected it in time. So this is from this page in my notebook, by the way, is from last May. This is from, no, it's from June. It's from June. Okay, 177. We did it! Diana, welcome in. Good to see you. Dude in Mesa, hello. Hello. Good to see you too. I'm going to leave the flour on the counter because we're going to use it in a few minutes. A teaspoon of baking soda. 1 whole teaspoon of baking soda. 1 whole teaspoon of salt. Teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to put 3/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So do half. And then 1/4. And my friend who said it was too spicy doesn't have to have any. Okay. And we're just going to mix this in. Sift, sift, sift. Great. Gonna give this a stir in the mixer. A brief stir, not a long stir. A brief stir. Phoenix, welcome. Sifting has less relevance to sort because of his advances in flour milling. It's beneficial when trying to make something light and airy, or an even combination of dry ingredients necessary, such as combining flour and baking powder. I think I'm kind of I'm not. I started sifting it just to get like lumps out of it, generally speaking. I sort of didn't have a motivation of thinking that it would make things like necessarily like meaningfully better. I started also like sifting it onto the top as opposed to like putting it on the bottom, and then there's always like flour in the bottom of the bowl. I don't know. I felt like sifting sort of helped it integrate better, but I'm positive that that's probably just me making assumptions and not actually that being the reality. I believe you. I totally believe you that it was like, hey, 100 years ago, you gotta sift it. Sifting it gets the nits out. Is that a coffee in the back? It is. It is. I do, I make like a large Chemex of coffee, and then I just put it in the fridge. I usually make my coffee in the little Bialetti pot in the morning, but we keep a carafe in the fridge. Hey, how's it going, dude?
Mom
Yeah?
Get me Rita.
Mom wouldn't get you Rita's?
He screamed, I want Rita's the entire drive home.
Okay.
Kicking and thrashing. Exactly.
My family's home.
Like that.
No library show. I said there's no library show. So can we get Rita's to make up for it? He said no.
Yeah.
He said meanie.
Good. I'm glad that Mom gets opportunities to say no sometimes.
Why are you happy about that?
Because because if I'm the one who says no often, then you get to ask Mom. You like ask Mom more often for more things.
He said that she bet that I forgot about this, so I'm having this instead.
Okay.
Being an asshole.
Yeah.
Well, you're a pita.
Okay. Enough sniping at each other. Yes. Wasn't it? It was just a few moments ago that all I heard was the dulcet sounds of the dishwasher just doing its job, and the dryer just humming along, and now
Not even getting rescheduled.
chaos.
It's just canceled for the year.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm actually sorry to hear that.
That's bullshit.
Well, I mean, there's only a couple weeks of school left. There's only a couple weeks of school left, and there's a lot on the calendar.
Bullshit.
What are we gonna do? Calvin's supposed to have a concert this afternoon at a local library, and it's raining here, so they canceled it, and they're probably not gonna reschedule it, and that's definitely upsetting. I'd be cool. Can I put that back?
You steal my plastic thingy?
I thought you were putting the cap on it to put it back in the freezer. I was offering to put it back in the freezer for you. Okay. Did I steal your plastic thingy? No, I did not. Which one? The little plastic cup?
Ooh.
No. I did not.
Oh, it's right here. Here it is. You moved
There we go. Was it an outdoor concert? Phoenix says yes. Yeah, it's his orchestra from school. They do a concert at the library in the springtime. They have for a couple years, and it's just raining today, so it would not be, a good day for a concert. It is unfortunate they're not rescheduling it. It is kind of fun. Okay, we have a little bit of an ad break that's going to come up here in just a moment. So we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to run a Game of Words on stream, and when we come back from that, I'm going to roll out these garlic cookies. And we're going to put them in the oven. A little housekeeping note for all of y'all who are new. We do 3 minutes of ads once an hour so that folks, when they come in, don't get a pre-roll ad. I also use that time to do some dishes or empty the dishwasher or sort of do a couple kitchen tasks. So we're going to do that now. But a little heads up, that's what we do. Here comes... Yeah, whose knows? Totally. I'm with you. We have a moderate level of sass most of the time in the house, and today there appears to be a greater than usual level of sass that's happening. Okay, here comes the Game Awards on stream. It's on the screen now. And here comes an ad. It's going to be 3 minutes long. If you want to sub, that'll keep your ads away. If you want to watch on YouTube, that will also keep your ads away. Here comes a 3-minute ad. We'll be right back. Okay, BRB.
Hi, welcome to another edition of Commercials I Hate.
No Ritas though, huh?
Ooh.
Yeah,
First of all, it's cold out. Secondly, I just want to be home.
that's valid.
No.
That's totally, that's reasonable to me.
And I already had ice cream, so I didn't really want it.
You are are you serious?
I mean, now that I reflect on the reasons why I said no, I'm sure that was part of it.
Wow. Wow.
If I wanted it, then we would go.
I know that's to be true.
I know that's right.
Oh my god. That's fine. I'm sure he's gonna get plenty of opportunity for frivolity in the next couple days.
Yes.
Dinner, by the way, is either leftover Indian food. I'd be happy to make a hot dog. Or what else? Is something else in there? Oh, there's a leftover gnocchi from last night. So
Heard.
and that's for him too. I have zero. I'll throw a pizza in if you want. It's just. Actually, no. I'd rather not throw a pizza in because then I have to change the oven temperature and I'm baking cookies. But yeah, there's leftover Indian from Sunday, and then there's hot dog. This general hot doggery.
No.
But that's what we're doing for the dinner portion of the evening. Hey, that sounded good. All right, let's do. Cleaned up the coffee. Okay. Oh, I had this drink and I knocked it off the counter and I never actually finished what was left in here. Okay. What are you looking for?
I'm considering
Oh.
nipple size should be pretty.
You should probably ask your doctor about that.
Can you put this in the refrigerator?
Yeah. I assume you don't want it next to that hot coffee. Okay. There it is. I don't know. Does it matter? It might matter. It could matter. It may not. Days, what do you want? She does just want. She does. Hey, if you were on Twitch, welcome back. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. The ads are not everyone's favorite. They're not mine, but they do. They are mandatory. So we're gonna get them one way or another.
I'm going to see.
Just FYI. Okay, cool. We're finishing a game of words on stream. Let me scroll back up. I saw a first words or two. Yeah, I saw one. There it is. True Caretaker. Welcome in. Good to have you. Meme, as we have established, is not a word that Words on Stream recognizes, which is absolute bullshit. And I'm sorry, that is the way it is, but it's super annoying. Super annoying, but now it doesn't matter because we're gonna come back over here. All right, blasphemous indeed. Who's knows? It is like what? It literally, it's like you're on the internet, friends. Do better. All right, let's roll some cookies out. These, if I recall correctly, spread quite a bit, even after they are rolled and pressed. I also am thankful for past me, who wrote down the size of the cookie ball that worked well. I think. Yes. 45 gram balls, it says. Is that right? Yes. 45 gram balls. Yeah, who knows? It's like, it's just weird. It is weird because it's, and I know this to be true because it's come up before on other streams. I've been like, oh, meme, like I've typed it in myself. Like it makes that much of a difference who types it. It doesn't. And it's been like, nah, rejected. I'm like, what? What? Why? All right. 45 grams. Let's get this going. Oh, hold on. This dough is really wet. And I can't roll it into balls. That's right. Okay. As soon as I touched it, I'm like, oh, right. This is a spoon situation. Okay, that's fine. I forgot that was the case, but as I'm like recalling this now, I think that is correct. Cyborg, welcome. Good day. Okay, so let's just try to do this. Wait, 45 grams? Is that right? That doesn't feel right. That's a lot. And that's only, hold on. No. Something's wrong here. I'm like, something is wrong. That's 20. Am I like... I guess it's like, I feel like I'm going a little crazy here because the last time I felt like this made
Don't worry,
a
I know what I'm doing.
bunch.
I have no freaking idea what I'm doing.
It's true. I feel like this made more cookies. And I have a little note down on the bottom here that says 24.75. Now I have 21 grams measured out here. And okay, at one point I made these, I rolled them out in a log and sliced them apparently. No. Diana, thank you. Okay, we're gonna go with 24 gram balls, or 24 gram cookies. The reason for that is I'm looking at this and this looks way bigger than the last time I did this. You know, if I could go back and look at that stream, which I could, it is in fact still available in the archive, I would be able to like see. Okay, this is yeah, this is the right size. 24 gram balls, or 24 gram cookies. Yeah, because it made a lot. And I remember being like, this is, I feel like I've had this conversation before. I feel like this has happened. I feel like this happened at one point. Anyway, we're gonna go with the 24 gram balls, okay? And they do spread, if I recall correctly. I mean, I can't even remember how much it fucking weighed, so let's not like trust all the things that I say. Okay. And I also remember that
I'm in danger.
if you have 24 gram balls, see a doctor. I mean, maybe. I actually I'm not sure what the median weight is on the cookie bowls. I do know that I have a note to tap them down and like spread them out a little bit because I want them to spread out more. So we're going with 24. We're going with 24. And we're going to spread them out and we'll see what happens. And I also had a note in here that the last time I made these, I used 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. And so I didn't do that today. And now I'm a little annoyed that I didn't see that note because they were really good last time. And I'm hoping that they're just as good this time. And we'll see. Maybe these are going to be a disaster. Jamie, welcome in. Hello. Ooh, Twinderella, nice. I love that. I love buying a gift. An 8th grade. I mean, an 8th grade graduation gift is a big one. That's like, that's a quite 8th grade is kind of definitely a milestone. I love giving gifts to people. It's always super fun when you're like, I like that time when you have something for somebody and they don't know that you have it for them. It's always kind of nice. Okay, there we go. Boys, hello. Average weight is 18 plus or minus 4. Well, got some big ones today, I suppose, huh? Unintentionally. I didn't know they were bigger than normal. Now I feel self-conscious. It's fine, they're cookies. What are you talking about? Yeah, 24 seems about right. And I also, I remember when I've made these in the past, I've been like, this makes a lot more than I thought it did. It made like 20 plus cookies out of this batch, if I recall correctly. They also cook super quickly. If you spread them out a little bit beforehand, they cook even quicker because they are already thin. Didn't know the average weight of cookie balls was going to come up today. That's a new one. I like to hear it. I was getting ready for stream, and I was like, oh shoot, I was going to make those breakfast cookies so I have breakfast camping, and I was getting the ingredients out and kind of, just staging everything on the counter, and then I realized I don't have any cheddar cheese. One of the ingredients in the thing I don't have. So I do have leftover Mexican blend cheese, and from like a taco night from our camping trip, the last camping trip I went on 2 weeks ago, I have leftover cheese from that. So we're gonna literally just use like the Mexican blend pre-shredded cheese instead of like regular shredded cheddar cheese, and I think that is going to be fine. It should be fun. It's not like spicy or anything. It has no it's just like multiple different types of cheese, but it is pre-shredded, which is great. It's fine shredded too, so it's just gonna like sink in and probably not have as much of a presence as the large cheddar chunks when I shred it myself, but that's okay. I didn't tell Calvin any details about dinner, and now he's just upstairs on his iPad and has no idea what's happening. He just thinks dinner's going to be ready, which I suppose I should just do. We'll just do that. And give him the option. And we'll see what Gwen wants. If Gwen wants the leftover Indian, then she can have that, and he can have a hot dog. He might want the leftover Indian, though. They can fight for it. I don't care. I'm not going to eat it. It wasn't mine. Tamale, welcome in. Tucson Tamale Company, welcome in. Let's just say your whole name twice, and also in separate stages. Welcome. Well, I read the whole name, and then I thought about tamales, and I was like, that sounds good. So, generally, it was a great association. The weight of a cookie dough ball should vary depending on the desired cookie size, but generally ranges from 23 grams to 1.5 ounces, 45 grams. 45 grams is like the standard one. The next cookie that we're doing today is a 45 gram cookie. For standard size chocolate chip cookies, a ball of dough weighing 55 grams is a good starting point. So by that stretch, these would be very small. Now, I also note that these cookies spread out a bunch, and you want them to be really thin. Like, these are not like thick, chewy cookies. They are a little bit chewy on the inside, like in the very center, but generally they're crispy. So I'm spreading this out even farther on the sheet pan here, just a little bit more than just a little bit more. And then we're going to pop these in the oven and then start putting the next ones on the other sheet pan. All right, bake 10 to 12 minutes. I believe that we've done these for 11 minutes the last time. So we're going to set this for 11, and we'll give them a look. We'll give them an eye at 10 and see how it's going. I don't think I'm going to rotate these in the oven. I believe I rotated them last time. I want to see if this first tray, if the ones in the back corner and the front corner are like meaningfully different. And if they are, maybe we'll rotate the next batch. I'm assuming that they're not going to be. But you know what happens when you assume. You base a decision hopefully on informed and a knowledge-backed history. That's what happens when you assume. I'll take the leftover Indian. I know. It is tikka masala. Chicken, specifically. Are you making sure he's not getting scammed or trolled online? Sort of. He's probably playing chess or watching YouTube, and either of those things is probably okay. He's probably either playing chess or watching chess videos on YouTube. Those are the two most common activities in recent months. Broccoli, yeah. Sometimes, I mean, if you have a tablespoon scoop that's like a good size, or you're like making rolled cookies, yeah, I totally agree with you. You don't always have to weigh them out. Specifically, if you have like a log, like a cookie log, and you're just cutting them, no real need. As long as your log is the same size from one end to the other, it's not shaped like a baseball bat or something. Toys, he does play chess. Yes. Yes, we both do. He started a little while ago, and then I started playing him, and he was just consistently beating me, like over and over and over. And I was like, all right, I gotta learn how to play this with a more kind of studied approach than just knowing how the pieces move. So I also have been sort of doing some some practice. We've been playing pretty consistently. We also go to the park occasionally and play other people who are just like in the park. There's like a chess group that meets in a park, one of the parks that we frequent. So it's also fun. Like he'll play like just kind of random people. Who's he watching on YouTube? Honestly, a lot of chess content creators. And he likes Jelly and Slogo. Slogo Man, I believe is their name. They're Dutch, I think, but they're like Minecraft streamers. Yeah, Twinderella. Once I've got it, I think this batch should tell me kind of a lot. Because I changed the sugar in this one, and so I think I changed the sugar and I changed the butter a little bit. I just didn't brown the butter. So I think once this one I kind of taste test, I'll know sort of how to make the final version. I'm not making this particular recipe for anything or anyone. Like it's not an assignment or anything. But I do want to get it nice. I think I'd probably share it with y'all, regardless of whether I pitch it somewhere or get it published. Anything in cashmere korma sauce, Broccoli says, yeah. The korma's good. Use an ice cream scoop for cookie dough, true caretaker. I mean, that's a typical, like, what, three tablespoons? Something like that? Seems like a good start, maybe 4. Duolingo teaches chess? Oh, okay. They're just in the knowledge game.
I need things.
What do you need?
I need more formula
Okay, where's that?
in the fridge where you put it.
Okay.
And I need a glass of water heated up in the microwave for 1 minute.
Okay. You got it.
Passion LC.
Wow. Good job. All right, just a second. Let me get this one, and then I'll grab those. And then I'll grab those. Cool. 24. Darlene on YouTube, welcome in. Fiona, do you play? I don't claim to be very good, but I do enjoy it. Tucson, I believe, is a chess merit badge, if I'm not mistaken. for all of your scouting needs. Learn the London. It's funny, I do a lot of the puzzles. I've been doing a lot of just like figure out the position. I don't know necessarily I got you, Glenn. I'm going to finish this tray so that I can put this one in the oven when that one comes out in 4 minutes. Okay? I got one left. I see you looking. I haven't gotten into like the theories or like any of the specifics like that just yet, but I feel like I will over time sort of put names to things that I am doing already, or like refine what I'm doing by making it more by associating with that type of thing. Right now I'm just doing a lot of puzzles, which is nice, but it's not teaching me anything. The Russian parents in chess clubs living out their fantasies to the junior. I am not like that. I just told Calvin, I was like, I'll learn some of this and sort of get a little bit of an understanding so that, so we can play. Because I think it's fun, and if he's, not getting challenged, by me, he's gonna play on his iPad, and that's fine. But I like playing too. I think it's fun. Speaking of Magnus's wife is pregnant. That's cool. I did not know that he. I had no idea of any details of his like personal life. It's in. I got it. Oh. Okay. Here. I got you. Got you. You know, you're good enough. I don't feel like I'm good enough, but I do feel competent enough that I can play a sort of okay game, and I don't care if I lose. So it's the not caring if you lose that's like the important part. Because you're definitely gonna lose. I'm finished? Okay. Yeah, you're definitely gonna lose. You want this water? Is that hot enough? Okay. Cribbage clubs and tourneys, Broccoli. I could see that. We've played in the park a couple times, and there's been folks who've come into the park and been like total sort of, you know it all sort of situations, which I don't love. And I think that there's definitely a lot of the like, oh, what's your rating, you know, and like then like you say whatever the rating, like what's my rating? I don't have one. I don't know. But like I feel like that sort of it breeds like sort of know-it-allism. And I'm whatever, like any sort of niche hobby. You don't improve by doing puzzles. Yeah. I think toys that I do like a broad amount of puzzles. I do like, you know, I don't have a like theme for the ones that I'm doing. And I don't have like I said, I don't have like a theory background on chess. So I sort of I like it because you play a game and the sort of the intensity of like the position and then the timing, like the timer's on, and you're like, I gotta make a move. I like the puzzle because it's just against my own self. Like, can I read this position and get the most out of it? Haven't played chess against a human in years. The chess.com bots are all better than any human anyway. So, you know, losing is learning. Yes. So in chess, so in life. For sure. We have a minute left on these garlic cookies. A minute to get to... Whoa! Okay. These are huge. These spread out to an incredible size. Okay, so... we're gonna tighten these up a little bit because they definitely spread a lot, and I don't want them to spread that much. Now it could also be how soft all the ingredients are, and that's okay. If that's the case, then we know next time. But they definitely spread out. They are very thin. That is true. But I think we just need to do like a ball, and then we just pat the top instead of spreading it completely out, and let it spread a little bit more on its own accord. Okay. Okay. Let's finish kind of consolidating these a little bit more, and then we'll take those out of the oven, because I think the ones in the oven might be a little bit of a lost cause, if I'm being real honest. That's fine. I changed some things. I think maybe they just spread too much because of how, I don't know, maybe the butter was too soft to start with. What did I change? Well, I changed the type of sugar. So there's more white sugar than there is brown sugar. That's different. Last time there was more brown sugar. I feel like brown sugar maybe holds up a little better, holds together a little bit better. So maybe that's part of it. I did not add as much vanilla, so there's like slightly less liquid this time, although that amount of liquid is kind of marginal. But we'll see. Let's take these out of the oven, and let's all kind of get a good laugh at them together, okay? Do you want them flat or to puff up? I want them flat too, son. Brock, do you want a chess tournament? Someone else sign you up for it? That's kind of fun. So you won by default on a no-show. a fatal mistake that it was all what the fuck just happened. Yeah, we had a guy, we were in the park the other day playing, and one of those guys who is like sort of a know-it-all. Do you know what I like? Just like, oh my, he was like, oh, my daughter is this person. He was like, oh, my daughter is so and so, and he said a name, and I was like, I don't. And the worst thing that you can do for people like that, I was just like, yeah, I don't know who that is. Even if I did, I would not know who that is. He was kind of annoying me in that moment, but he was like, yeah, if you give up your queen, just resign. You got to just resign right away. If you don't trade queens, just resign. And I was like, but like, if you're brand new at it, just finish the game. Like, you know, like finish the game and make more mistakes. I refrigerated them because of the brown butter. Yeah, Phoenix, I did. I think the brown butter was so I made the brown butter. Start the timer. I made the brown butter and I then I cooled it down. I re-solidified it again. So actually the brown butter might have been a little more solid than the butter that I left out on the counter. Took the guy three times and still lost. Just fight. Yeah, you're fighting it. You can't succeed if you don't first fail. Yeah, and I was like, that's terrible. Like, and he told that to Calvin, and I was like, that seems like terrible advice. If every time you lose your queen, you just resign, you don't learn how to play without it, you know? So these are good looking in terms of, do they look like brittle? They do. They are still dark brown. So the changing of the sugar really didn't do a whole lot here. The changing of, the sugar and the brown butter did not change the color, not even one little bit. And it may be that these are just kind of a little bit burnt, but I also think spreading them out as far as I did was not a good move. So they almost look like lace cookies. Lacy is the word that I was using to describe what I wanted these to look like. So broccoli, you're right on. And they do. They're very lacy. I can't even find the camera. Where's the camera? There it is. It's literally right in front of me. It's called the Immortal Game. Yeah, you play it, and like you learn how to play it when you're like 6. You learn what the pieces do. Oh, the horsey makes an L, and then you learn that there's like a theory behind it. And yeah, I think that when you do you can do like reviews on chess.com. You can like review the game, and when you do that, if you do like a game review, it'll sometimes it's kind of weird because it's like, that was a mistake, and you're like, but I won. So the bakery, you need chilled butter when the cookies go in if you want them to spread less. I want these to spread a lot. Like, I definitely want these to be this thin. Like, the point of these cookies is this thin. They just spread too much. The Immortal Game. Petrov losing his queen. Yeah, and he's like, whoa! I bet when it happened, everybody was like, whoa! What's he doing? And he's like, I am calculating. And meanwhile, now, like, the computer's like, look at this guy, obviously. Computer's like, I wouldn't even have needed to lose my queen. We have a couple cookies left. Let's just take these out of here and get these on the tray, and then we'll start with our next round of cookies, our other cookies. We're going to do these plus a little breakfast cookie. So I'm tapping these down, but not as much. We're just going to like do a little bit of a tap. A pizzelle. It is kind of like a pizzelle. These are not on... Pizzelles are super fun. I've never actually... I've been in the presence of pizzelles being made, but I've never made them myself. Are those the ones that you need like an iron? You need like a form for, like a mold, right? Some sort of like It's like a waffle iron except for cookies. Dude, sounds like he actually sucks at chess in life. You know, I think people, it is interesting how seriously people take it. You know, it's such a like, it's such a thing. People take all sorts of stuff seriously. I guess it's okay to take that seriously. But I'm sort of like, I just enjoy playing it, and I don't at all care if I like do well or don't do well. So I'm always happy like when we go to the park and play people. Like I'll play a game or two, and I usually lose. You know, and it's okay. Calvin beat me in 11 moves the other day, and then I beat him in like 45. So. All right, getting the last of this dough just scraped together. Before we finish up here. Did I set that timer? I did. I'm using Iron Phoenix. Yeah, that's a, it's just like, it's like a waffle iron, right? Like you do like 1 or 2 cookies at once. I feel like I've seen those in like, I know that I've seen those in Fonte's, which is the kitchen store in the Italian market, and I'm pretty sure yeah, I've seen them there because that's like, they're like an Italian cookie, right? Generally speaking, that's considered like an Italian cookie. I don't know if its origins are Italian. When I play people in chess, I'll make a mulligan if they make an obviously terrible move. When we started, Fiona, when I started playing chess with Calvin, I started by giving him, you know, that opportunity that like, okay, if you mess up, like I'll give you one. Now, when we play with the clock, I like a game that is a 30-minute game where I have 20 minutes and he has 10. Because I just don't think as quickly as he does. And I get frustrated by it. And when I'm short on time, I make mistakes, obviously. Who doesn't, you know? But it's kind of funny because I'm like, at one point I was like, you just need to give me more time. Like, I don't, you know, I can find the move. I just can't find it in a hurry like that. Can't even do something because I like it, even if I like it. And if I don't, who knows? I'm bad at making myself do things I feel like I'm bad at. Sometimes just the practice is nice. I for the chess thing specifically, like I just told him I'd get better at it, but I didn't like promise what that meant. There was a little wiggle room to be like, what do you mean when you say get better? Okay, these are ready to go in. Toys, it's funny, I don't know a lot about the chess world. Like I'm sort of my visibility and awareness ends at like what my kid tells me from his YouTube watching. Italian waffle cookies, that's right, they're very good, and you put powdered sugar on them, right? Yeah, waffle, exactly, Tucson, the waffle cone cookies, except pizzelles are a little more brittle than a waffle cone, if I'm recalling correctly. People who think they're great at everything annoy me. Broccoli, yeah, I think, to me, it's like people who, in that situation, like when we're in the park and you have a person who's like, you know, my daughter's a grandmaster. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, I taught her everything she knows. I'm like, that's great. You know, but like, okay, he like, there's one time when we were playing and this guy like came in, I was playing Calvin, and he like saw me that I didn't have like a good position, right? And he like came in and he was like, well, you should just do this, 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 and this. And he like moved the pieces on the board. And I was like, I got really annoyed because that kind of shit just annoys me. I'm like, don't like, nobody asked you. And earlier, like right before that, we were like 2 moves into the game. And like right before that, he had been standing and watching, and I was like, do you want to play? Like, would you like to play this kid? And he was like, no, I'll watch you guys play. So like 2 moves into the game, he's like to me, he's like, oh, you got to do it differently, you got to do something. And he like made a couple moves, and I was like he's like this crotchety sort of older dude, and I was like, sir, it sounds like you would like to play. And I like, grabbed him by the shoulders and was just like, hit, and put him in front of the board. And he was like, I don't, but okay. And then he like played, and I was like, you just fucked up my whole game, man. I'm not trying to like take your advice and move from this position on. Like, you play or we're gonna restart. Grandmaster sounds sus. I don't remember what this person's name was. Like, I would have looked her up. But I do know that like this is the city that we're in has a lot of folks who I probably imagine would be like very good and studied at chess. Like, I don't know, we're close to UPenn and sort of like the whole like there's sort of like an Ivy League vibe to chess, and I feel like that's a I don't know. That seems like an assumption, but I'm happy to like make it kind of assumption. Nakamura is like a top 10 or 20 in the world. The name's familiar. I don't want to drive, I want a backseat drive. Yeah. And I was like, no. He was like right next to me, and I just like, I took a step back and just moved him in front of the board, physically moved him in front of the board. And he like, he didn't know what to do. But I was like, sorry. I was like, this dude is just making me annoyed. So you told me you didn't want to play. Guess what? Now you're like, I was like, now you're playing. And I moved him and just like stepped to the side and was like, hands off. He was Russian. No, I mean, this guy was American. I mean, maybe he was, I mean, I don't know. But he didn't say he was. He was like, my daughter is. Like, and he said a name. He said like a very specific name. And I wish I'd remembered it. And I wish I'd seen him again, because I would ask him. I just got annoyed. It wasn't like, I don't know. He was just like, mansplaining chess to me, and I just wasn't into it. All right. These are also very, very large. They're smaller than the other ones, which is good. They're also less burnt than the other ones, which is great. He did say he taught her everything he knows, so he said I taught her. I don't know what exactly he said. He was like I was her teacher. There's a big difference between I taught her everything she knows and I taught her everything I know. So I don't know. Timer on those. Okay. Well, I'm annoyed and disappointed, and the next time I do these, I'm going to go back to the version that I made before this without all those changes, and I'm going to refrigerate the dough ahead of time, because I feel like I've made this recipe. I've made this recipe 7 times now, and I've made a change each time, and it's just like not coming out the way I want it to. It did. The last time I made it, it came out like beautifully, but it wasn't, it was the color. Like literally the color was what annoyed me last time. And like, I'm not gonna lie, if that's the only problem with these cookies, then the version I made before these is better. And I do need to chill them. Like, chilling in cookies and in life is apparently very important in this particular recipe. Okay, I'm writing spoon/chill on here and circling the part where it says 24 grams. Cookies giving you trouble. Yeah, they're just being annoying. And they just stole my pen cap. There it is. They are not cooperating. They're not cooperating. I think I think the dough was too loose. Liz, hello. Life has been lifing. I feel that. I hope you're well, though, generally speaking. Also, hi. Hello. Well, I mean, let's see what these taste like. Because if they taste okay, that's at least something. And like, you know, they're big cookies. They kind of look nice. This is the front. This is the back. It's hard to tell the difference between the two. I think that's what these would be better for, Liz. These are definitely like cookie brittle. They're really good though. Okay, we got the butter. You know what? The brown butter's better. These are lacking. They're lacking. Heat's good. Garlic's good. Flavors are good. Tori says cookies are like kids. They stop giving you trouble when you get to put them in the oven. It's called Hansel and Gretel parenting. Alley Cat. Good for you. Sounds like you have a really full evening. I hope bedtime's easy for you. And I hope that you find the motivation to do the exercise portion of your evening. And I don't want to make you feel bad if you don't, because you definitely shouldn't if you don't. But I know I personally have a hard time motivating myself sometimes, and I've never regretted doing the exercise. I've often regretted not doing it. Sounds like a very gratifying evening all around. Chicken noodle soup, hopefully an easy bedtime, clean kitchen. Oh, it's hard. That's why I mentioned ghee, uncommon. Ghee would work here too. What is motivation? I don't know sometimes. I've been struggling to find motivation to work out for weeks now. Weeks. Just hasn't been happening. I know it. I know I would enjoy it if I did. Now I know I would feel way better physically, mentally if I did. And yet, somehow, I just can't get my schedule and my day to line up. You know? And that's okay. That's the season that I'm in. And I'll get back to it sometime. I mean, okay, these are good. I think, Liz, your approach about just like crumbling these up would probably be better. But these are, taste-wise, they taste great. I actually like I love the texture of these. They're crunchy and crispy. They are far too large, and I think that's sort of like a full stop scenario, but they are otherwise good. Like, I have the flavor. I just need I need the technique. The technique is the missing now. How did the orange cookies turn out? They turned out really well, Liz. They are a very close approximation of what the creamsicle flavor is, and I love them. Both Gwen and Calvin said they were their favorite cookies ever. To which I was like, really? But whatever, that's good. That's a good thing. I would say that if I'm making them again, I would put them in the oven for a minute longer. And if I'm heating them up, if like you're receiving cookies, you should heat them up for a little bit in the oven too, before eating them, as opposed to after eating them. Like, come on. I think that would make them a lot better. That's like my standing recommendation. All Cookie Club cookies, put in the oven for like 5 minutes at 350. Standing recommendation on how to consume your Cookie Club deliveries. I'm lazy like that. I heat them in the microwave. I just think as long as they're a little warm. These ones in particular, I would say the oven, only because I think that I think that they could have been baked a little bit more. The ones that I over baked, I liked the texture on the bottom a little bit, so there's like a balance. I'm missing. They were very good. I'm always the most critical of my own cooking, so Gwen and Calvin love them. When you get them, put them in the oven or microwave and just heat them up for just a little bit, and they will be even better. Okay, I'm using the same cookie sheets for the next round of cookies, so I'm not gonna like clean them in the sink. I'm just gonna use them, I'm giving them a wipe down, and we'll just use them. Wearing a fantastic size watch. Thanks, toys. I got this one. This was a Christmas present a couple years back. It was one of those. Gwen was like, you're hard to shop for. What should I get you for Christmas? And I was like, here is a URL for a specific product. I wear this size and I like this color. And she was like, okay. I love a watch that doesn't have anything else on it other than the time. No other information. Maybe the seconds, but I don't want like date. I don't want, I don't want like anything else other than the time, and I do not want it to be digital. Those are my only requirements. Slinko, welcome in. Good to have you. I'd be happy with a swatch. Being garlic cookies, I want to pair them with cheese. It'll be like cheese and a nice crunchy cracker. I would say, Phoenix, that these are quite sweet, generally. I think these would pair with like a melty cheese really well. I love the idea of crumbling them over like a cold dessert. Yeah, soft cheese. Exactly. I don't know what kind. They're sweet. Yeah, butter, garlic, cayenne. A chocolate lava crumble cookie. Heated up and it's warm and melty and delicious from Crumble. Who's knows? I don't think I've ever had a crumble cookie. I've heard of them. We have Insomnia here. Insomnia is Insomnia, I think, was founded in Philly, or this area. They kind of have a pretty strong foothold. I don't actually know if we have crumble cookies here in Philly. I've definitely heard of them though. I mean, they're pretty ubiquitous elsewhere. All right. Trays are done. Last bit of cookie is in the oven. We have 1 minute left on that one. I had a beverage. It's gone. Let's get another. All right. I do know how to make my own ice cream. It could be good. Garlic cookie ice cream. I'm into it. They look good. So they are good. And they're thin. This is 2 trays worth of cookies. Apple pie, hunk of cheddar, vanilla bean ice cream, and garlic cookie shards. Yup. That does sound great. Guy, welcome in. What's for dinner tonight? Cookies? Hot dogs. Hot dogs. Calvin! One sec, I gotta yell. Okay, hot dogs. That's what's for dinner. All right, everyone wants hot dogs. Great. Rocky says, I never take off my watch unless I need and have a new battery put in. My backup watch is the same make as my favorite one. I take this off at night, and in general. I wear it most of the time, but I do take it off at night. I have trouble sleeping with stuff on my wrist. You have to try the apple pie and cheddar combo. What is in that? Honestly, I have no idea. It's the word pie. But see, the thing is, if it did it... I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. That's wild to me. Oh, hold on. Cookies, the timer just went off. Yeah, these spread as thin as possible too. Okay, so lesson learned, we need to chill the dough. I think I chilled this last time. I'm guessing that what happened... Do you know what happened last time? I'm like vaguely recalling this now. I think what happened was it says to roll them into balls, and the dough was really sticky last time, and I think when the dough was really sticky, I was like, oh, I should chill this, and I just didn't write that down. And I bet you if we went back to the VOD, which is available still, I could have just like looked at it for reference tonight, and I didn't. I bet if we go back to that, I chilled this dough. Did I put machine learning on the bot? No, it's hand coded. It's all manual. It is all manual. Okay, well, listen, these are good. They just spread too thin, but overall, that's a tasty cookie. And this is lacy, like I said. So when I say lacy, I mean like you can see through it in spots. Like it has those little like holes. Hand coded, all manual. Toys, you're picking it up now. See, I think it just stops reacting after a little while. There's like a cooldown period. The bot's refractory period is not what it once was. Just being real. No, it just needs a break. It needs a little sip of water. Maybe a little cool down. Get back to it. Let's make this next round of cookies, which I also had issue with when I made them the last time. So like, save our excitement. Before I do that, let me no, you know what? We're gonna mix those cookies so I can make hot dogs in like 5 minutes. I don't need a long time to make hot dogs. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna continue eating these cookies because, like, honestly, they're really they'd be better with brown butter. Let's get all the ingredients for this out and ready. And we're gonna take a little words on stream break. During that time, I'm gonna clean up a little bit in the sink and put some stuff away, maybe. And then we'll come back, we'll make these cookies, we'll roll these out. At least these I have a much better sense of, like, I have better notes. I have better notes on these cookies. My notes on these garlic cookies have like gone so off the rails. I need to start over. What I need to do is actually start over from the basic. It's fine. Okay, let's get the ingredients out for this situation. Okay, and we are going to double this one because I like this recipe and I want a lot of them. So, flour, cinnamon. I have a little cinnamon in here. I think that's probably enough, but if not, this is backup. Baking powder. Powder, not soda. Vegetable oil. Now, we're going to use applesauce. Last time when I made this, I used applesauce, and I had like a little hesitation about how they turned out. And I have my note on this is just cook them for like a minute longer. So we're going to do that, and hopefully that'll be good. Brown sugar. I'm going to use dark brown sugar. Ooh, I just put that bag in my face like a horse feed bag. 1 egg. Again, we're doubling. So we got 2. Teaspoon of vanilla. Medium apple. Two medium apples. Oatmeal. Cheddar cheese. And then dried fruit, which is raisins. My other notes on here are make them a little bit flatter and add nutmeg and salt. So I have nutmeg, I have salt. The original recipe does not call for salt, so that's disappointing. Or the recipe that I'm basing this off of, yeah, the recipe that I found that was like sort of a base model for this. It's not the same recipe anymore, but it doesn't have any salt, so that's kind of weird. And then instead of shredded cheddar cheese, we're using Mexican blend fancy shredded cheese from John F. Martin and Sons, established in 1961 in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Local cheese purveyors. Maybe it assumes the salt is coming from the cheese. It could be, Liz. These are interesting because it doesn't have a lot of sugar in it either, and so these really are sort of like aimed at being as like, I don't know, nutritionally dense / not overly sugared as possible. So maybe they just decided not to have the salt because, I don't know, because maybe there's some assumed health something or other too. Who knows? They need salt though. I mean, like, God, they need salt. We established this. Okay, here we go. Here's a game of words on stream. It's coming in 3, 2, 1. Wait, no, it's going to count on its own. 3, 2, 1. Here is a 3-minute ad. If you don't want to get the ad and you want to hear my offline ad time rambling, you can follow on YouTube. There's a link in chat. It'll subscribe. Here is a 3-minute ad. If you're on Twitch, I'm sorry. We'll be back in just a few moments. Okay, bye.
Hi. Welcome to another edition of Commercials I Hate.
Let's clean up in the sink here just a little bit because we have a few moments to do that, and the less dishes, the better. Always, generally speaking. We have a bowl. My cookie stuff in here, and the next batch of cookies, it's all in one big bowl. So as far as like ease of recipe goes, it could not be easier. Mix it all in a bowl and then put it on a sheet pan. Do you need to shape it in any way? No, you do not. All right, dish time. Wow, it is pouring rain outside. Holy crap. Like pouring. It's raining so hard that it's hitting the ground and raining up. Which is a special kind of rain. How we doing? We got one word. One word. Oh, one word. So close. So close. Oh. Very close. It might have been node. That's a word. All right. Let's see if we can do a few of these dishes right now in this moment. We got a few moments left before the ad break ends. We got a little bit of the game left. And we still have cookies to bake, so. You know. Wow. I'm just like watching this rain. It's actually insane. We must have like a sort of a system or some sort of thing moving over. Cool. Love to see it. Hey, if you're on Twitch, welcome back. Thank you for your patience. Ads are not everyone's favorite. I recognize that, and I also recognize that we can't do anything about them running. We can only pick when and how they run, which we do, and try to do intentionally without disrupting the cooking content. We're playing Game Awards on stream. If you want to contribute to the game, type the words that you see on the rotating line on the top into the chat, and the game will tell you if you are correct. The game also lies sometimes. It doesn't recognize the word mean as a word, so you know the game is good, but it's also a bit untrustworthy, TBH. So you know, don't get upset if it doesn't recognize your word, or get upset. Just know that I can't do anything about it, and nothing will change. That's on you. Okay. Deedle-dee. Very nice. Very nice. Come on back. Nice work, chat. Nice work, chat. Indeed. Megan, welcome in. I see you. Texas, welcome in. Good evening. I see you. Let's make some more cookies. My oven, fortunately, cooks these at the same temperature, which is grand. All right. So I got all this stuff out, but like now I can't functionally do anything with the counter in front of me, like say chop up an apple. So let's kind of move this a little bit to the side here. Okay, you all slide over. Make room, make room, make way, make way. Moana, it's time you knew the village of Waterloo. We're gonna cut the apple first because that's really the only thing that needs to be prepped for this set of cookies, and I'd rather not like do that in the middle of everything. So let's just cut up some cookies real quick. Apple real quick. I want to do little cubes for this apple, so nothing too crazy, nothing too difficult. We'll do 2 medium apples. What do the directions say? Diced. Just diced. No sizing, just diced. But I know what a diced apple looks like. And I guess you could just dice it however small you want it. These are sort of, you know, make yourself happy cookies, if you will. Laundry today, who's knows? Nice. Body doubling. I mean, isn't that what a lot of folks do with Twitch? I think that's great. I certainly experienced Twitch that way as a like the streamer that I'm watching in that moment is sort of in the background noise of my day. I wouldn't call it noise. It's like, to me, it's like a podcast. I experience it in a way of like just long form audio. And it's funny because like I watch different folks at different times of day. And for a variety of different reasons. Like there's Twitch channels that I will watch when I am getting things done, when I'm like on the computer being productive, right? and versus like folks that I will not watch in those contexts because, you know, I'll be like paying too much attention. I'll get wrapped into what they're saying and I won't be able to think about what I'm doing on the computer or stuff like that. But often that changes throughout the day, and I have my streamers who I enjoy. I'm glad that you enjoy hanging out here. It's funny. I was thinking the other day about folks. I get like sometimes you just like think about folks who used to be in chat more regularly, and I always want to say that like people's circumstances change, and you have no idea why someone hasn't been in chat in a while, and like they don't owe you anything. I don't owe them anything. Like there's no transactional scenario there. It's just kind of like whatever. But I do. It's interesting. Like I was thinking the other day. I was like, oh, I remember like this person being like in chat all the time, and like just like wondering how they are. You know, like. Maybe from my side, maybe from this side of the camera, it's a little different sometimes because, I don't know, I'm in every stream. So I do tend to notice the folks who, you know, who are here regularly. But it's always like whenever someone's not in stream, you know, or hasn't been in chat in a while, like I don't ever have a like, oh, where are they? How come they haven't been here? Blah, blah, blah. Like I don't have any expectation of their time. But it's always like you wish people well, you know? It's like, I always kind of wish that the last time that they were in chat, that like you knew it was the last time they were in chat, and you're like able to be like, oh, I hope you know, I wish you well, generally speaking. Man, that's a very sort of
Why does it smell like waffles?
dark thought. Calvin says, why does it smell like waffles? I made some garlic cookies, and they probably just have a smell to them. Yeah, what are you up to?
I just smelled waffles and wanted to ask why.
Okay, well they're not waffles, but you want a hot dog? You said
Correct.
for dinner. How many hot dogs do you think you might enjoy? Slash, how many hot dogs do you think you could eat even after you stopped enjoying them?
2.
Like just like total. You think only you could eat 2 hot dogs?
I mean, I can eat them, but like
Okay.
not comfortably.
Not comfortably. Right, that's what I'm saying. How many hot dogs do you think you could just eat, period? Not how many hot dogs do you think you want? A lot? You think you could eat more than 5 hot dogs with buns?
Yeah. I think I could probably do that.
Okay. I will not make you 5 hot dogs, but good to know. I'm glad you have confidence. Calvin's on the steps. He came down wondering why it smelled like waffles. That's what he wanted. Liz, they do not. They will come with ketchup. They will come with mustard. And that is it. They're plain hot dogs today. Broccoli says, from my perspective as a viewer, some people do the same thing every stream. Baking brownies for the 1,000th time gets boring. No, I agree with you. That is true. I think I do a lot of the same things sometimes. I think, you know, I'm like both of the things I'm doing. But speaking as someone who has streamed both of the things that I'm making today within the past month, I think for my part, I do understand what you're saying. Like I really understand what you're saying. Carly, welcome in. Good to have you. I think for my part, I sort of try to do other things or like, I don't know, have different conversations during that time. But yeah, I think I feel you. I can think of some folks about whom I would agree and say that that is true. Uncommon, I wish you well as well. And obviously no one is ever like, maybe not no one ever, but it's I would imagine it's exceedingly rare for someone to be like, this is my last time in chat today. Good life to all of you. I don't think that's like most people don't have that expectation. They just like, you know, they log off of Twitch one day and then 6 months later they're like, oh yeah, I used to log on to Twitch like all the time. You know? But like circumstances changed. Bellanissima, savory cookie time. Yeah, we have some savory garlic cookies. The recipe sort of is what it is. I'm happy with the one that I'm happy with the version I made last time. Today's are not that great, but we're moving on from that. Can't say I've ever enjoyed truly in eating a hot dog. I do eat them occasionally, but not by choice. That's reasonable. I eat them very, very occasionally. But I have leftover hot dogs from the last time we went camping with Calvin's friends. So they just gotta get used. That's the thing. They're like, I have hot dog rolls and hot dogs in the fridge. Like, is it the best meal? No. Is it a meal that's easy for me to do tonight? Yes, it is. Perpetual sad sacks complaining about life. I think, yeah, I mean, to each their own, you know? I definitely am aware, and I'm pretty sure that there are...
I was gonna go look at my kittens like this.
Oh, good. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people who've come into this chat and been like, not for me. This guy just talks about grams and kilometers all the time. What a weirdo. Which is fine. You know, not everybody's not everybody's, vibe has to be for everybody. That's the nice part about Twitch. You can just be like, I opt not to watch this, and you can see yourself out. It's kind of great. You don't need to announce it. You're just like, yeah, we're good here. All my online peeps would have no idea. Uncommon, I know, right? And be like, later. Yeah, and I think that's where my head goes, right? I'm like, I can think of off the top, I can think of probably 15 or 20 people whose names I have not seen in chat in well over a year, but whose names are still in my head. And I'm not going to name them. Like, I'm not going to call that out right now. I'm not going to be like, oh, these folks, maybe they're lurking. I don't know. But who knows? In situations where hot dogs are popular, bratwurst, yes. Bratwurst or Italian, I totally agree with you. Any of those things would be better than hot dogs. Phoenix, we're on the same page. What I have in the fridge is hot dogs. What I wish it was like chorizo sausages, but it's not. Gwen says I miss fistic. Yeah. That's yeah. See, like the names, I'm like, oh yeah. Wonder where that person went. I hope, and again, it's there's never any, like, nobody owes anybody the time. I just kind of am curious at a human level. That's all. All right. 213 grams of flour. At a just generalized, like, we've had conversations. I wonder how this person is. And sometimes I do like, this is a weird thing, but sometimes when you see a chat, when you're like, someone just isn't in chat anymore for like a long time, and then you like see them in someone else's chat on Twitch, I like that. I'm always like, oh, cool. You are still just around, you're doing your thing, and maybe you just faded around from hanging out on my stream, or maybe your schedule changed, or literally whatever reason you have. I do kind of like when I see people though from like chat, generally outside not outside, but like in the greater Twitch community. Okay, we are doubling this recipe. Reminder, we are doubling this recipe. 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Yeah, broccoli, a good grilled bratwurst with whole grain mustard. I'm 100% on board with that statement. Again, I wish we had bratwurst. We do not. Stir together the flour, cinnamon, and baking powder. A whole teaspoon of baking powder. Baking powder. Uncommon says, I just made a good burger with sauteed mushrooms, onions, and peppers. New York sharp cheddar cheese and barbecue sauce. Hell yeah. What kind of roll? I'm nosy. A teaspoon of baking powder. Done. says stir together, so we'll just stir together. We're not sifting this. There's no sifting of this one because the sifter is in the sink. So we're not doing it. We're not doing it. Add the oil, brown sugar, egg, and vanilla. Okay, so we're adding the brown sugar, 132 grams of brown sugar. Okay, good. Average hamburger bun, even better. Even better. Phoenix, yeah, people stream at the same time. No, I totally get that. And it's the streamers who are streaming right now who I would like to watch, whose content I enjoy. So I feel you. I definitely understand where that is an issue. I'm just moving all this stuff to the counter back by the baking cabinet because I just want it off of my counter. Perfect. Okay. So we have brown sugar, egg. Let's add the eggs. Egg number 1. Egg number 2. And vanilla. How much vanilla? 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 1, 2. Oh, and the oil, right? Oil. Half a cup of vegetable oil. So a half a cup of applesauce is 122 grams. That is, in fact, the serving suggestion on the back of the container. That makes it easy. We need to bring back the twice baked souffles and crab cakes. Crab cakes, I think everyone would agree with. Liz, I think crab cakes, Gwen would certainly agree with. What we need to do is go to Maryland and get some blue crabs when they're in season and peel them. And, or peel them. Peel them is when you take the meat out of them. That's like the terminology. And get the meat ourselves, because the crab meat itself is delicious and expensive. Okay, so we've added in the applesauce, the sugar, and the oil, which or applesauce, egg, sorry, and oil. And we're going to mix this all together. Now, I recall when I made these that I was like, these are not liquidy. Where's all the liquid? And they just like got more liquidy as I added things to them. Somehow they got more liquidy despite not adding any more liquid. So we'll see. The last time I made crab cakes on stream, I think I did like homemade crab cakes and fries, like homemade fries, like deep fried. Oh, the parsnip fries. I fucking love parsnip fries. We haven't had parsnip fries. I haven't had parsnip fries since I made them on stream. A Philly cheesesteak, something. Who's knows? We did a Philly cheesesteak the Thursday before the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Stir in the apple. Okay, there's my 2 medium apples. The oatmeal. 3 cups of oatmeal. 1.5 cups times 2. 1, 2, 3. Oatmeal, shredded cheese, dried fruit, and salt. Let's not forget the salt. Let's add the salt right now. How much salt did I put in here? I put a half a teaspoon of salt in here last time, and I feel like that was good. So we're going to do that again, maybe a little more than a half a teaspoon. No, we're going to stick with it. That was good last time. Let's let it ride. I'm also going to do half a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg. Let's do a quarter teaspoon. We'll see how that goes. I wonder how many crabs it would take to get enough for a couple crab cakes. I feel like it was like 3 or 4 crabs per crab cake. I made the soufflés twice. I don't remember if they were popular. I think they were probably just a little bit complicated, or they just didn't make their way into the rotation. I ever make shrimp burgers? I had not. Half a cup of raisins. I have not made shrimp burgers. Wait, it says a quarter cup. No, a half a cup of dried fruit. Okay, so no, we do want a whole cup of raisins. Not a quarter, not a half a cup. I thought it said a quarter cup. Oh, the wild rice burgers, Liz. Those are a good meal prep. I haven't done those. I've meal prepped those a couple times on the stream, but it has been a while. We haven't had those in the fridge. Wild rice burgers and turkey burgers are the other one that I usually, I like having on hand, but haven't recently. All right, we're gonna add, it says 3/4 a cup of shredded cheese, so we're gonna add a cup and a half of Mexican blend shredded cheese. 1 and a half a cup. This is a whole cup, but I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Great. Maybe we'll have some cheese on our hot dogs. Stir in the apple, oatmeal, shredded cheese, and dried fruit. Done. You can all go back over here. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna stir these in, and then let's stir these in, and then I'm gonna get the hot dogs in a pan on the stove, because that's like super easy, and then we'll put these in the oven and we'll bake them at that point after we get the hot dogs in, because I also want to like have dinner ready on around 7:30, 7:40. It's 7:24, so it's not going to be 7:30. Sorry, I just looked at the clock. I was like, wait, that's not going to work. Always everything. Who knows? Everything was too long ago, and everything is also not soon enough. Our local Weiss makes them fresh in-house. They're better than anything from Captain and Chucky's for 1/4 of the price. It's nice when you can get it's nice when you know the place to get crab cakes. If you're like a Marylander, you definitely like have the place that you get crab cakes from. That's like your spot. Oh, you got to go down to like, I don't know, Billy McGinty's Salty Dog Cafe. And you're like, okay, cool. But every like Marylander has their sort of preferred crab cake vendor. I don't know if this is in Maryland where you're with Captain Chucky's. I don't know if that's in Maryland, but it sounds like it. And it definitely sounds like the type of place that would have like local handmade crab cakes. I don't think I've seen you make a turkey burger. I may not have made them on stream. I've made them many times, but it's funny, I have a recipe that for turkey burgers that I printed out off some blog that doesn't exist anymore, like 15 years ago, and it's still just the turkey burger recipe I use because it's the best one I've ever made. Okay, these are good. We're gonna get these into the oven in just a few moments, but let's get the hot dogs in first. In a pan, on the stove. Semantics. All right, how many people do we have? 2. Calvin wants 2 hot dogs. Gwen probably wants, I don't know how many Gwen wants. Here we go. We got rolls. We got one type of roll, and we got another type of roll. We'll toss those in the oven too, and I turned my pan all the way up. That's not a good idea. We don't want to do that. Let's just put these in the pan. Used as a southern beef stroganoff. It's definitely turkey burgers are weird. There's certainly some there's some good recipes and some bad ones. The one that I love, that I use mostly, has a lot of has zucchini in it. It's a lot of zucchini as well. But they were, I mean, I've had it. I've been making the same one for at least a decade, if not longer. Same thing with those wild rice burgers, although I think those are newer. Those are newer to the repertoire than the turkey burgers. I'm just gonna make all these hot dogs because, like, why open one package of? Why we're gonna eat more than one pack and less than two, so we'll just have like cut up hot dogs available for eating purposes and lunch or whatever. We don't eat hot dogs that often, so I'm just sort of gonna put them all in there and that'll be okay. All right, let's get, let's see, Gwen wants two. Calvin wants two. Gwen probably wants two. So we need some more rolls than this. Mac and cheese, Liz. Yep. And while we are camping on Thursday, Gwen and Calvin will be left on their own. I notice that I'm not meal prepping any sort of like food for them while I'm gone. There will be plenty of food in the house though, so I'm not worried about it, but you know, there will at least be hot dogs. 2, 4. Gwen might have 3. I'll probably have 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Filipino spaghetti. Totally. Yeah, I mean, the hot dogs, you know, you just kind of add them into whatever and then they're good, right? 2. Okay, cool. That's fine. I got you. All right, hot dogs are on the stove. I'm gonna put these buns in the oven, so to speak. Let me turn the pan up just a little bit, and then let's get these cookies in while this is coming up to temperature. Okay, these do get rolled into balls, and they are rollable without refrigeration. So let's start down that. Liz, I don't know. The kittens went to the vet today. They got some shots, some vaccinations. They were in good spirits. Drew was over this afternoon, and he was here when they came home, and was very happy to see them. Okay, what did they say? 61.5 grams per cookie. So these are way bigger than the other ones by quite a lot. So I don't remember how many this recipe makes, but I do remember that these were a good size before. So 61, let's just go 60. 60 is an easier number. 61.5 is not a number I feel like I want to have to do every time. Somewhere between 50, 55, and 60. There we go. That's the good. They are growing so fast, Liz. They started out and they were like 100 grams in weight, and now they are like 600 something. So they're way bigger. They're visibly bigger, and they are like scientific. I was going to say scientifically bigger, but that's not right. They are demonstrably larger. Ping pong ball size. That's right. Wow, I just pulled off an exact size amount. Liz, Daisy is interested in them. I think it's funny with Daisy because she's comfortable when Gwen's holding them. She's very curious when Gwen's like got them in her hand, and she can like see them and they're sort of contained, right? The being contained is important. When they're down on the ground and like mobile and sort of walking around on their own, she's like, I'm out. She wants absolutely nothing. She's gone. She walks away. Like the moment their paws hit the ground, she's done. Because I think they're confusing to her. Their movements are a bit erratic, and she's just like, nope. And she like opts out of the entire situation, the whole room. She's just done. it happened earlier. She was sniffing and being really nice, and then as soon as Gwen like put them on the floor, she was just ran away. But that's reasonable. She doesn't have the best history with cats, so she's still just very timid, and she's like that around a lot of creatures. It's not necessarily just cats. She's like that around children. Definitely like that around children. She's like, no, I don't want anything to do with you either. And she's like that around most adults and like most new people. So it takes a while for Miss Daisy to warm up to you as a human. She has her favorites. She has her favorite people. And it is cute because when she, if you are a favorite person, she's frantically excited to see you. It's just she like Drew. Yes. Yeah. Drew and Michelle are like favorite people. They're like top tier favorite. And as are others. I mean, we have sort of, the top tier of people is probably like just the people that are in that have been around for her like her whole life. Drew and Michelle more than she likes us, Gwen says. Yeah, that's probably true. Drew and Michelle also have a dog who she's friends with, and she's known since she was first came home. They don't hang out really all that often at all, but they used to a lot more back in like pre-COVID times. And so she's known them for a long time. They're favorites. Both of our Gwen's parents and my parents, I would say, are favorites. Got probably some other rotating people. I can't really think of all that many other people that she loves that way, though. And when I say she's frantic, I mean when she greets them, she like, when she knows they're here, she will run down the steps and greet them at the door. And like, she's big. She gets excited. She like, wiggly and, I like when my mom comes to visit, right? Like I have to stop Daisy. I have to hold Daisy back until my mom can get in the house and up the steps so that she doesn't knock her down the steps. Like that's how excited she gets. She's like, she doesn't know. She's just like, everything is awesome. And she just goes right in. She's got a big heart. Baker, it is adorable. Yeah, Liz, I think she's just a big softie. She's not really aggressive, and she doesn't really kind of understand her own size sometimes. I think that's probably true. Okay, these cookies look great. I'm going to toss these in the oven. So let's open that. I guess I can take those rolls out of there now. Reverting to puppy mode. Totally. Yeah, she's definitely just like, she gets excited, and then with some folks, she also like sometimes can't calm down very well. She sometimes like stays excited, which is definitely frustrating if you're like having company and she's just like, sort of at some low level of excited buzz for the entire time. Like that can be a little disruptive, but generally she's good. Okay, hot dogs are coming along. I would say the hot dogs are probably done, but we'll kind of give those another few moments in this pan while we finish portioning out the other cookies. So I just tossed those in the oven. How long does it say that these take? 15 minutes. 15 minutes. These are long baking cookies. Actually, I'm going to bake them for 16 because last time I had a note that they were not quite done, or at least to my taste, they weren't quite finished. So I think we'll go for the longer end of the baking time today. Yes, Liz, I got it. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm looking as I'm getting to that point, and in my notes, I'm like, yeah, Nick, okay. Thank you for the reminder. That is helpful. And yeah, this recipe I feel like is pretty finished. Floxy, hello. I think I'm saying your name correctly, but maybe not. I don't know. Welcome. Hey, indeed. It was the applesauce list. My comment about them last time was that because they don't have oil in them, I felt like they didn't brown on the bottom very well. Like they just didn't sort of do the burning thing. They didn't char on the bottom because there's no butter and there's no oil. There's like nothing to burn. So I don't. I'm just we're gonna go with the. We're gonna go with the longer of the times, and that'll do. That should do. I did set my timer though, and I hit start. I did. Okay, we got it. Cookies today. We made spicy garlic butter cookie. Speaking of spicy, Zach, welcome in. Nice to have y'all. Zach, thank you for the raid. Thank you for bringing friends through. Venomous Calsharp, hello. A rowboat, welcome in. Wumbo's World, hello, welcome. Wumbo's World, I like, it took me a second to figure out your name, but I like it. Princess Luna, hello, welcome. Let's fucking go. Let's. Roderick, welcome. Roxanne, hello. Duchosaurus, welcome in. Wawuma, good to see you. October Camille, hello. Cookies indeed. We made cookies and we're making cookies. We're in the middle of the two. Carly, thank you for letting me know. I got you. Zach, good to see you. Thank you for bringing friends through. We are hanging out. We're making some cookies today. Friends, if you were hanging out here prior to the raid, if you've been here before the raid, I would encourage you to go follow Zachary Michael. I would encourage you to do that on YouTube as well. There's a link to that in chat. There's actually a link to Zach's link tree in there, or whatever it is. I hope that link is still correct. Hey, Zach, if that link isn't correct, you can let me know and I'll change it. Or anybody, actually. It doesn't have to be Zach. Why put the burden on one person? Witch's Tail, welcome in. Hello. Robo, your mushroom emote is so cute. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do love those emotes. And if you'd like more of them, you can have some of this. Welcome in, y'all. If you were hanging out here, please go follow Zach. Zach is hilarious just chatting streamer. And streams a very consistent schedule, which we love. We love a consistently scheduled person who's reliable and shows up when they say they're going to show up. I try to do that, but usually I'm about 20 days late. But welcome in. It should be good. Okay. I did not see that Zach got 69 check-ins. Shit. Softy, welcome in. I thought I had the sound that was, I downloaded the sound, but I didn't add it to my stream deck yet. The one that's just like, nice. But I would like to program that for when someone gets 69 check-ins. Lisa, thank you for letting me know. I appreciate you. Thank you for the bits. I'm glad that you love them. Zach, I hope you get food. Jamie says you're hungry. Is that horny and hungry? My message was suppressed because I asked if this was a DILF channel. It is. Dad, I'd like to follow. You should hit the follow button. See what we did there? I'm glad you like the motto. Good. It is a Dad I'd like to follow channel, in fact. And it's in the tags. I think it's still in the tags. Duchosaurus, thank you for your Prime sub. We love a Prime sub. They're definitely the best kind of subs. Welcome in, y'all. It's nice to have you. My name's Lou. This is a cooking channel. We also do some IRL stuff. We're going to be IRL on Thursday this week. We're going to be camping. So if you like camping and you like campfire cooking, we're going to be doing that in real life on Thursday. Mostly what we're doing on stream is in the kitchen, cooking, generally speaking, vegetable forward family meals for myself, my partner, and our son. Today, we're not doing that. We're cooking cookies, which is, you know, good for the soul. Currently making breakfast cookies. When you came in, I was showing these garlic cookies, garlic butter sugar cookies that are so good. They're not as good as I wanted them to be, but they're pretty good. So yeah, that's what we're up to. I should also note that follows are silent. If you are the type of person who doesn't like to be perceived when you're followed, you don't like a big celebration, cool, me neither. Go ahead and follow if it's something that you feel compelled to do. And if you want to chat, great. And if not, there's no noises, there's no alerts, and there's no way anyone's going to know unless you say hi and chat. So, Robert, thank you for your sub. I appreciate it. That is a tier 1 standardized sub. That's the good stuff. We like those. I like Prime subs too. Let me be super clear that I will take Daddy Bezos's money no matter what. Happily take Daddy Bezos's money. We love a sub. It also happens to be my stream anniversary week, so we're doing some celebratory camping. We're gonna do that on Thursday. That's gonna be kind of all day on Thursday. So follow along if you are interested in such things. Today we're doing cookies though. What I'm making right now are breakfast cookies. We'll call them breakfast cookies because you're allowed to eat them for breakfast. They don't have a ton of sugar in them. They're pretty packed with other stuff. They have apples and cheddar cheese, oatmeal rather, cinnamon, brown, just a little bit of brown sugar, some vanilla, and raisins. We're listening.
Just Jamie71166 said Zach worked overtime, so they are extra hungry.
Good. I hope that there is food in the future. I hope that it is not hard to come by and that it is everything you need. And that you get all of your needs met. In the Horngry canon of needs. I'm measuring this out, by the way. I'm not like picking like weird stuff out of here. I'm measuring each of the cookie balls to make sure that they are the same size. So we have some cookies in the oven. I said when folks just recently came through, this is a vegetable forward meal, vegetable forward family meals. Y'all, tonight we're having hot dogs. So I just want to be like for real about the fact that sometimes you just, you know, we don't always do like vegetable stuff. Sometimes we're just like, here's some hot dogs and ketchup. Tomato ketchup, which is a vegetable. Congratulations. I was thinking of making a more robust meal today for stream, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna make cookies instead. So we did. It's what I wanted. Which is tell, thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. Gwen says fuck vegetables. No, I mean, I like them. I obviously like them. I cook them a lot, but you know, sometimes you just don't want to cook dinner. Sometimes you just want to cook a hot dog. Sometimes you need a hot dog. Sometimes you need a hot dog, right? Sometimes you need to just like throw some hot dogs in a pan and eat them when they're done. And that's totally okay. And listen, I love a hot dog. We are also just like, and like, okay, let me be like, let me take one little like step back. They're turkey hot dogs. So like, maybe that's good. I don't know. They are turkey hot dogs though. So, you know, they're not that bad. They're still just hot dogs. All right, we're getting to the end of this bowl. We're almost done. Veggie tattoos are subbing for the food. Totally. Totally. Here, have some onion. Actually, that's gross. Don't do that. Tomato is a fruit. Ketchup is a smoothie. Yup. What's the saying? Knowledge is knowing that tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not putting it in a smoothie. That's a good saying. We like that one. Hot dogs and bratwurst. We were talking about bratwurst earlier and how several folks wished that this was bratwurst, myself included. Okay, gloves are done. Does that mean guac is a smoothie? Yes. Yup. Listen, if we're gonna go in, we're going in. And if you can put avocado in your smoothie, why wouldn't guacamole be a smoothie, right? Like, people have avocado in their smoothie. Okay. Cookies are in the oven. Did I started the timer, right? I did. They don't look any different. Nothing. They look exactly the same in the oven. So I think, which is good. I think that's fine. I also want to, like, I had the note in there to press these down a little bit more, and I don't think I did that for those. So maybe let's, like, give these a little bit more of a flat scenario. I thought when I pulled them out of the oven last time that they looked very much like they were going to fall apart, but they did not. So I'm emboldened by that knowledge that this time they will not fall apart when I take them out of the oven. Which is, what kind of cookies? These are breakfast cookies. They have flour, cinnamon, baking powder, applesauce, brown sugar, egg, vanilla, apple, oatmeal, cheese, and dried fruit. In this case, raisins. Megan says, I almost made coney dogs with my homemade coney chili. We had leftover coconut chicken curry instead. Man, I would love some chili on these hot dogs. Broccoli, thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. Cheers to you too. Guac is either a smoothie or a fruit salad. Yeah, or it's dinner. Guac is a full-on dinner if you're trying hard enough. That's what's in the breakfast cookies. The primary ingredients are apple, cheese, fruit, oatmeal, and apple, cheese, fruit, and oatmeal are the things that you would look at this and be like, that's what that is, and raisins. But it also has flour, cinnamon, brown sugar, applesauce instead of oil, baking powder. Sauce, thank you for the bits. Broccoli says, Evelyn, I don't know how custom cheer about biddies work. It's the same. You just type, like, command cheer. For example, if you typed command cheer 20,000 into chat, you could do it. You can do it. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. That would be a lot. Don't do that. There's no space between the cheer and the number. Is that true? I don't know. I thought there was. I thought it was command cheer space thing. I mean, we can look back up. Jamie just did one a few moments ago. Oh, wait. No. Yes? I don't know. It's up there somewhere. It's gone. I could be wrong. I don't know. Oh, cheer, there's no command. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. I know that. We figured it out. Jimmy, thank you for the bits. Okay. Dinner is ready. So, Gwen, if you want hot dogs, you can come up and grab a hot dog. Let me grab Calvin from upstairs. Let me tell Calvin dinner's ready because it's going to take him a few minutes to come down. Hold on. I'm going to yell. So just Jamie, enjoy your evening. I hope your show is wonderful. I hope no one has spoiled it for you, and I hope that you have a commercial-free version ahead of you. I get it. Broccoli, thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. We have 51 seconds left on those cookies in the oven. Oh, we found one. We found one. We did. Sarah, hello. Also, Sarah, I see your. I appreciate your direction. Okay. Speaking of, let's get these cookies. So dinner's ready. We're waiting for the cookies in the oven. They have 20 seconds left on them. We're going to pull those out and then we'll pop the next round in. These garlic cookies are very tasty, but not at all the right size. So we're going to go back to the previous version on these and make some minor changes as opposed to large, major breaking changes. Now we're going to refrigerate these out because damn, they need to be cold. Okay, timer is up for the oven. Let's get these out. Funny, they look basically exactly the same. Hold on, let's look at this. Which of these trays is baked? Go. Don't look at which one I'm holding with a pot holder. Which one of these trays looks baked? It's this one. But yeah, this is good. These are done. They're browned around the foot and the bottom. I can see like browning all on the tray. A little bit of browning just on the side. So that's fine. I'm gonna pop those in and give those another 16 minutes. Oh, hello. Oh, no. That one? Nope. There we go. Okay, we're back. Neither have mouths. No, this is true. These are done though. They're finished. They look great. Wow. Okay, so we did good. We did good today. I'm happy. We have breakfast cookies. They're ready to go. We're gonna leave those just sit on the tray. I have cookies in the oven, but that's it. And I'm not like, everything else is just sort of like already finished. So I don't need the tray. I can just let them sit on the tray for a while. And then we'll get the next tray out of the oven in a few minutes and let that cool too. Well, let's see. We made the garlic cookies. We made the breakfast cookies. We made coffee at the beginning of the stream, so that's good. I did not do the one prep task that I was thinking about doing today for our trip tomorrow, but that's okay because I don't need to. It was basically prepping herbs, but like I'm just going to toss the bags from the fridge into the cooler and we'll do that at camp. So I think that we are just about wrapped today, which is kind of exciting. Ruby Dooby Doob, welcome. Yum indeed. We have had we've had some good these are good cookies. Even though I have a little bit of frustration with the way the garlic cookies came out today, I still think that they're really good, and I still think that we are I'm in a good spot for them in terms of like, I know that the last version of the recipe was a better version than the one that I made. So the next time we do this, we're going to go back to that version. And that's okay. And that'll be okay. Okay, let's see where we are. Oh, there is a link in chat. I don't know if y'all are super into the voting situation, not political voting, but like just general food and drink. There is a user voice poll, a Twitch user voice poll that has a the capacity to potentially get the food and drink streamers our own creator club, which would be really helpful in terms of like access to Twitch and support, and it would be super helpful to have that. So there's a link in chat to go vote on that user voice, which would be awesome if you would go do that. And if you already have, thanks. Okay, I think I know where we're gonna roll to today, and I just want to confirm because I'm using Twitch's new raid finder thing, which is different, generally speaking. But I think I know where we're gonna go. I see some folks that are doing chicken fajitas and cake. They've only been live for 27 minutes, so they're right at the beginning. And I know this is we're gonna go raid Raywen. Raywen is not only a food and drink streamer, but also a food and drink community member. Hangs out in several different food and drink chats. So if you are not already following them, definitely give them a follow because those are free, and it's always nice to get them. Anyway, before we go, let me start the raid here. Start the raid. Okay, a couple things.
Goodbye.
You can. That's a good one. Here are some raid messages in chat. So Fluff, thank you. I hit the button and we're gonna both do them. Here are some ways you can check out other places on the internet where I live. Discord, if you want to DM me. If you want to DM me, I will eventually respond to you. I will not respond to you the same day, very likely. And that's just who I am as a human. YouTube, I would love you if you would subscribe on YouTube. Thank you. Cheesy focaccia, venomous kasha. I love a cheesy focaccia. I love focaccia bread. We're going to be live again on Thursday. We're doing an IRL stream. We're going to go camping. We're going to be live on Thursday. I'm shooting for noon Eastern. So just so we're like aligned, I may be a little later than that. There's a chance I may be earlier than that. So at some point, Thursday around noon, we'll start stream, and then we'll do camp stuff all afternoon. We'll cook, we'll build a fire, we'll do some Dutch oven cooking. It's gonna be great. Come hang out on Thursday. We'll be live later in the evening too. Probably be live until about 9 p.m. is what I'm assuming. So anyway, if I don't see you though, that's totally okay. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. We'll be live again on Thursday, and please go follow Raywen. I'll see you soon. If I don't see you there, I'll see you in chat. Alanis Nicole. Good. Bye-bye.